Throughout American history, there have been various restrictions and limitations on women's rights and activities. While progress has been made over time, especially through the women's rights movement, it's important to acknowledge the historical context. Here are some examples of things women were restricted from doing in the United States. Women in the United States were denied the right to vote for much of the country's history. The women's suffrage movement fought for and eventually passed by Congress June 4, 1919, and ratified on August 18, 1920. The 19th Amendment granted women the right to vote. In the past, women faced limited opportunities for higher education. Many prestigious universities and colleges were exclusively for men, and women were often excluded or had limited access. Women's access to an equal education has been a long and difficult struggle that wasn't truly addressed until Title IX came about in 1972, but the roots of the movement were formed during the 19th century. Women were often excluded from certain professions and faced discrimination in the workplace. For example, they were discouraged from pursuing careers in law, medicine, and academia. Women were historically excluded from serving on juries in some jurisdictions. It wasn't until the 20th century that laws began to change, allowing women to participate fully in the judicial process. In the early 20th century, laws prohibiting the distribution of information about contraception were in place in some states. The landmark Supreme Court case of Griswold v. Connecticut in 1965 established the right to privacy and laid the groundwork for legalizing birth control for married couples. Throughout much of American history, women faced wage discrimination, earning significantly less than their male counterparts for the same work. The fight for equal pay continues today. Women were often excluded from participating in organized sports. Title IX, enacted in 1972, played a crucial role in addressing gender discrimination in educational programs and activities, including sports. Women were officially barred from serving in combat roles in the U.S. military until policies were lifted in recent years. The Department of Defense began opening all military occupations to women in 2015. While progress has been made in dismantling these restrictions, it's important to recognize that challenges and inequalities persist, and the fight for gender equality continues. The examples listed above reflect historical practices that have evolved over time through social and legal changes. Don't forget to like and subscribe.